When is on-screen chemistry too much? Probably when you've got the whole world talking about you, and not in a good way. While we can never really be sure what happens behind the scenes of a movie set, fans have certainly noticed something going on between co-stars Sydney Sweeney and Glen Powell. Maybe it's the long hours or the late nights stuck on set together, but actors getting with one another during filming is nothing new. I'm sure many of you remember how Brad and Angelina started. But while Brangelina did everything in their power to keep their affair a secret, it seems like Powell and Sweeney are taking the opposite approach. Pics, Insta Reels, and joint interviews together are all contributing to the rumor that these two actors are hooking up when the cameras aren't rolling. If you don't know what we're talking about, let me fill you in. Sydney Sweeney and Glen Powell are two very successful actors who in recent years have seen their careers take off. Sweeney is Hollywood dynamite right now. Hot off her appearance as Cassie in HBO's hit drama Euphoria, the blonde bombshell has gone from one major production to another. The Washington native has also proven to be more than just a pretty face, having been nominated twice for a Primetime Emmy Award and founding her own production company, 50/50 Films. The young star has got a busy few years ahead of her, signing on to appear in Marvel's newest blockbuster, Madam Web, while also preparing to reprise her role as Cassie in Euphoria Season 3. Powell, on the other hand, is something of a Hollywood vet who has only now started to get major recognition for his work. Almost 10 years Sydney senior, Powell has been around the block a few times and starred in his fair share of big-budget movies, usually in a minor role. With breakout performances in 2015's Scream Queens and 2016's Hidden Figures, Powell has been steadily working in Hollywood since 2003. But it was his role in 2022's Top Gun Maverick that really helped launch Powell into the spotlight. Appearing alongside Miles Teller and Tom Cruise, Powell's role as Hangman, the crew's designated a-hole, earned him renewed interest as a leading man in Hollywood. The pair were first linked all the way back in January 2023, after it was announced that Sweeney and Powell had signed on to appear in the new Sony-backed rom-com Anyone But You. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but in just a few months, with allegations of unfaithfulness beginning to swirl and some questionable Instagram posts, it wouldn't be long before both actors' partners would start to wish it had been anyone but you. You see, since filming for their new movie began, Powell and Sweeney have been accused multiple times by both fans and gossip sites of having an affair with one another. Now look, actors getting friendly and even dating during a shoot is nothing new. But what has really ticked a lot of people off was the fact that both Powell and Sweeney were both in committed relationships before filming began. Powell had been dating model Gigi Paris since 2019, and on the surface they seem like your average Hollywood couple. Both hot and both successful, Paris would attend red carpet events with her boyfriend, and they would make time to see each other during busy and hectic filming schedules. Sydney, meanwhile, has been linked to vape businessman and restaurateur Jonathan Davino since 2018, with the pair getting engaged in February of 2022. Davino and Sweeney keep a pretty low profile publicly and share a home in Los Angeles. Things, while suggestive, stayed in the realm of rumors for a long time while filming took place. But with Powell and Gigi's shock split in April of 2023, the cheating rumors really picked up again and made fans question if this was real or just a promotional stunt from the studios. You know what they say, where there's smoke, there's fire, and these two made a lot of smoke. The first time we saw the two together was when Powell made the first of what would become many Instagram posts with himself and co-star Sweeney. On March 3rd, Powell posted a picture of the two on set, with Powell sporting an ear-to-ear smile as Sweeney looks on from nearby. It wasn't much, and it didn't necessarily mean the two were having an affair, but the post caption, "Hotbox," would be the first of many that would eventually put the couple in hot water. Eyebrows were raised when Powell posted again on March 21st, this time gracing his followers with 8 photos from a visit he and his family took to the Taronga Zoo in Sydney. Powell spent the day with his parents, sister, niece, and nephew, and, you guessed it, Sweeney. The pair looked friendly, maybe a little too friendly for some, as Powell's followers began to take notice of his relationship with the Euphoria actress. One user commented, "She met the parents," with a surprise face emoji and love heart. While another one wrote, "I feel bad for his GF," referring to Powell's partner Gigi, who was nowhere to be seen. Sydney would make a similar post to her Instagram, showing the pair together feeding a giraffe. But the giraffe wasn't the only thing fans noticed, as one user commented, "Is that your boyfriend? Who's the guy holding the carrot?" This first round of Insta photos, while maybe a little weird, was innocent. There is no rule against being friendly with a co-star, and no major lines have been crossed by either actor. Despite the odd comment regarding their relationship, the majority of fans saw nothing wrong with the zoo pics, and many shared their excitement at seeing the new film upon its release. But a few weeks later, things took a turn for the worse, as new pictures posted by the movie stars would raise more questions and cause more drama. On April 10th, Sweeney would post a photo of the pair again, this time in what appeared to be a sightseeing tour of Australia. The post captioned, "Sometimes things are more fun in the rain," saw her posing alongside her co-star in a series of rainy snaps. Again, nothing wrong with that, except for this time the pair's body language was just too much to hide. Cheeks pressed together, big toothy smiles, and an open-top bust pic that looks more lovers on tour than co-workers hanging out. If the zoo pics hadn't raised any questions, then Sydney's rainy day collection certainly did. One user commented shortly after the photos were posted, "Y'all looking a little too close," while another pointed out the discrepancy between Sweeney's post including her fiancé and her co-star. "You post him more than you post your own fiancé." By now, the rumor mill was beginning to turn, and users all over the internet began to speculate at the nature of their relationship. Look, we get it. Actors nowadays gotta do what they can to promote their new movie, and the pair's cozy display was sending fans into a frenzy and generating a lot of buzz for their unreleased flick. But at what cost? It wasn't that Sydney and Powell didn't look good together, or that fans weren't excited for their rom-com. But people couldn't help but feel bad for either actor's partner back home, seeing the same things we were. The two held off on posting more photos together, maybe because of all the negative press they had been getting, or maybe because they just didn't feel like it and things calmed down for a bit. But mid-April brought about a chance for people to see Powell and Sweeney's chemistry live and in person at CinemaCon, a convention where movie studios promote their upcoming releases to the public. It's a pretty routine convention. Journalists ask stars questions about their movies, usually the same boring stuff you've heard a million times before. But in front of the cameras and without their comment section to hide behind, Powell and Sweeney's undeniable chemistry shone out for all to see. Their body language was like that of two flirty high schoolers. The staring was long and the eye contact even longer as the pair giggled and turned to each other when answering questions. Powell joked about Sweeney being the movie's social chair, aka the one in charge of planning all the activities that had raised eyebrows to begin with. While the Euphoria star confessed to giving Powell the nickname Top Gun in reference to the film he's now best known for, Powell then responded and sent the internet into meltdown. "I love when she calls me that," he told the reporter. I mean, talk about subtle. The rest of the time was filled with the pair talking about their upcoming movie, how much they enjoyed filming together, and how much they loved Australia. At one point, while Powell talks about his experience filming, Sweeney holds a mini microphone up to him, and her eyes don't leave the actor for more than a second. CinemaCon seemed to confirm what everyone had already been thinking, but nothing concrete had happened yet. The two actors, despite their loved-up display, were still very much with their partners, and there was no signs of any cracks forming. That was until Powell posted an Instagram reel of him dipping Sweeney over his lap. While these two were no strangers to posting suggestive stuff together, this one really took the cake. Fans began to wonder if the pair's attraction to one another was beginning to spill over into recklessness. These fears were confirmed when the first bit of tangible drama unfolded. Shortly after CinemaCon and the now infamous dipping video, Gigi would unfollow Sydney on social media. A few days after this, she would unfollow her boyfriend before announcing their breakup. She followed this up by making a cryptic post alluding to her now ex and his co-star's relationship. "Know your worth and on to the next," she captioned her short video. It seemed like the writing was on the wall, and Gigi's fans rushed to her side. "It's funny to me how men always end up cheating with someone not as beautiful and sexy as their woman," one user commented in support of Gigi. Another followed up by saying, "Good for you for unfollowing him. The offset photos were gross," referring to Powell's numerous pics with his co-star. An unnamed source told People, however, that the reason for the unfollowing actually had nothing to do with the cheating rumors. This source claimed that Powell and Gigi had broken up weeks prior, and that Gigi had only unfollowed Sydney on social media because Sydney never followed her back. This has nothing to do with Glen and Sydney. Gigi is aware that Glen and Sydney never hooked up. The source goes on to say that this isn't the first time Powell and Gigi have split up. Gigi and Glen had broken up several times. They had been on the rocks since Top Gun came out. Gigi was never happy with the long-distance filming, and when she came to Australia, they both decided to break up for good. The source continued, explaining to People how Glen found the distance hard. He takes his work very seriously, and it was tough on the relationship. But fans were less convinced. Powell's latest Instagram post, a harmless photo of him next to a koala bear, is littered with comments in support of Gigi. "Fumbled the bag," one user commented, while another kept it simple with Gigi. Shortly after the news broke of Powell's shock split from ex-Gigi, Davino was pictured leaving the LA home he shares with Sydney, carrying an armful of personal belongings, Sydney's dog Tank, and a dog bed, further adding fuel to the rumors that something had gone down. But the couple still seemed to be going strong, being spotted out for dinner ahead of the Met Ball together. Despite being pepped at celeb hotspot Sake no Hana in NYC and wearing matching black leather outfits, there was a noticeable frostiness in the pair's demeanor. Eagle-eyed fans were also quick to point out Sydney's bare ring finger, absent of the engagement ring Davino gave her back in 2022. While this may look bad, there's actually a good explanation. Despite the couple being engaged now for over a year, Sydney rarely wears her engagement ring out in public. In fact, the last time she was pictured wearing it was all the way back in October of 2022, 6 months after the news of the pair's engagement broke. So for now, Sydney's empty ring finger doesn't necessarily mean the pair are on the rocks. With filming for Anyone But You now officially wrapped, the two actors will be spending decidedly less time together, and hopefully this will put an end to the rumors that have been circulating. Throughout this whole ordeal, neither Sweeney nor Powell have made any comments on the nature of their relationship, which has led people to question its authenticity. You know what Hollywood is like. Any publicity is good publicity. But the recent backlash regarding Powell's split from Gigi appears to be doing more harm than good. Users have flooded both stars' Instagram pages with hate, claiming they won't be watching the movie because of the stars' behaviors. On Sydney's April 21st post, many comments took aim at her and her role in Powell's relationship breakdown. "This is the way you steal Gigi's boyfriend?" one user commented, while Powell's comment section is full of fans promising not to watch the movie. "Won't be watching that movie now," said one user with over 300 likes. "Relationship ruined for a flop movie," said another. With the movie still in its early stages of production, it's hard to tell the impact this will have on its success. Fans have vowed to boycott the movie should the cheating rumors turn out to be true. But until we get a trailer, it's hard to say for sure. For Sweeney and Powell, it seems like both stars are just trying to get on with their lives and careers and not give the rumors any validity by talking about it. Whether that's the best course of action remains to be seen. But what do you think? Is something going on? Will you be okay with your partner being this cozy with someone who's technically just a work colleague? Do you think Sydney played a role in Powell's relationship breakdown? Or was it just time for Powell and Gigi to go their separate ways? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.